right, guys, welcome back. It's round number 3. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Our third person of this like love triangle, if you will, that we have going on here. It's Colby Covington, and this is probably the juiciest piece of that we have here. It's Colby has left American Top Team after 10 years there. That's pretty damn interesting. What are some of your first initial takeaways when the news dropped on what would be yesterday, Wednesday?
Well, initially, I thought, you know, I was a little bit afraid initially because we've seen how far Colby has progressed and how good of a fighter he's actually turned into, right? So I thought, okay, well, losing Dan Lambert might actually flaw him. But then I thought, well, hold on. If we look at somebody like Tony Ferguson, he doesn't train with an official camp. He just has his guys and they're focused on Tony Ferguson. And I mean, look what he went on to do, right? So I'm excited to see how this affects Colby. Because if it's like, if we're taking him away, if it happens like it happened with Kevin Lee, where he lost his trainer and then he went on to bounce around a few gyms and he had some good fights and some bad fights, it kind of ruins his stardom. But the fact of the matter is, Colby, as annoying as he is, but, as his gimmick is, if he were to, stop backing it up, because really that's what he does. He's a very, very good fighter on top of the relentless trash talking. He's a really good fighter. He lost via 5th round knockout to a very dominant champion in Kamaru Usman. I think, he doesn't have the same arsenal as somebody like Tony does, but he has a similar gas tank. And if we're going to say, it's all good, we're going to have a camp that centers around Colby, all the coaches will work exclusively with him. I don't know how they're going to find him training partners, but I guess they will. I just don't think they'll be at the highest level as some other fighters are in the UFC. It could be very good or very bad. And I think if it's bad, it's going to get, it's going to go bad to worse very quick. But if this ends up being a Tony Ferguson situation, we're going to have a Colby versus Usman rematch very quickly, and the outcome might be different.
100%, man. I'm looking at someone like a Colby and I'm thinking this boxing style of going and being like, this is Colby Covington Inc., as he was calling it with Ariel. That's very much the boxing model, right? Like they just have their team. It's them and their team, and they're the sole focus of the camp. If he goes and does something similar, like you said, Tony Ferguson, and does that structure, if you're the right people around you, you can go very far. Like you don't have to be part of the biggest gyms. I think it's an asset to have experience, especially a decade's worth at the best gym. That's arguably the best gym, but it gets to a point where, hey, I need to leave. I need to go do my thing and evolve. TJ Dillashaw comes to mind. Guys that had a long tenure at somewhere.
And TJ Dillashaw got better when he left. And that's a really good example, to be honest, because if let's say Colby goes to fight with somebody like Dwayne freaking Ludwig, man, that would be a huge thing for him.
If he goes and finds a Trevor Whitman to his Justin Gaethje,
right?
These types of matches made in heaven, if you will. Eddie Bravo, with his ability to go and train with Tony, and ends up giving him his black belt that he got given to him. Like, I mean, these things happen where you have these matches made in heaven with these two people that are getting the most out of each other. It's a two-way street, obviously. So Colby has an opportunity to kind of like shut a lot of people up, but the next fight will tell you a lot about what's going on, because he seemed like in the interview, at least to me, from what I parsed from it, he didn't have the team full for sure. I think he didn't have the team fully fleshed out. I don't think that everything was fully, he knows every single aspect of who's doing what for him and with him. It seemed like this was a new breakup. So he's still got to rebound and find people to go and work with, some coaches. But I forgot the name slips my mind, his cardio coach that has his cardio so high. I don't know if any of these people are like exclusive to or they're willing to go work with him on the side. Right.
Right.
So there's good opportunity there if he finds the right match. And Colby Covington, despite the gimmick, love it or hate him, this guy's a grinder. This guy's one of the most game opponents out there. Like, so we'll see. I mean,
there's one thing I'd like to add to what he said, because he mentioned a lot in his interview with Ariel Helwani about the sensitivity around the gym at ATT. And I thought he had a really good point, man. Like, there gets to a point where, how are you guys adults and not seeing what this guy's gimmick is, right? Like, get over it. Why is everybody so sensitive? Yes, you're arguing with him on Twitter. Mike, I would love for you and I to start a Twitter beef and just go back and forth. People think, oh, look, they hate each other. No, bro. Why does it have to be that personal?
Do you remember when 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather were going to fucking box? All right.
Dude,
No,
do you
what
remember when
happened
50
is
Cent told Floyd Mayweather, hey, ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, I'll pledge $750,000 to any charity you want if you can read a full page of this Harry Potter book? That's the funniest thing ever,
it's
man.
cross promotion. It's agreed heat. Like it's agreed to. So that's why when Chael Sonnen is saying, is it a work or is it a shoot? Is this real beef or is it not? He thought that Jorge and Colby off Jump Street might have been just an inside work. Like these guys
Which
are
it
just
should have been.
right. Like
And
what
it
are you
still
guys
could
doing?
be. Let's
And
be
like
real with that.
and that's also a factor too,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
He
a great
left the
point.
gym, bro. Oh man, now they're getting real, it's getting to real beef because you have to remember these guys were best friends for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they talk
Sleeping
mad
on a
trash
couch,
to each other.
random people don't sleep on your couch for 9 months.
Right.
I can tell
So
you that much.
exactly. And now if they're gonna, go back and forth with the trash talk, like this is how you build a fight. This is okay, yes, it's pro wrestling, but dude, pro wrestling, it works, man. Look at the industry that it built, right? I was actually pretty upset when I was hearing what Colby was saying about how Dustin Poirier was so offended. It's like, Dustin Poirier, dude, you were a freaking interim world champion too. You only lost to freaking Khabib, man. Like, come on. You're upset because this guy said that you're trash? Oh, boo freaking who? Come on, man.
Honestly, telling coach that he needs to dip the gym, it's like, dude, just be civil. Like, and civil doesn't mean, hey, man, how you doing? Civil could just be like, I'm not going to look at you.
Just a nod.
I'm not going to talk to you.
Whatever.
I'm not going to acknowledge your presence. That's it. Death glares from across, but it doesn't need to be talking grease, go pull the coach aside. I don't know how bad it is, but at the end of the day, he's definitely rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. Then those people that are being rubbed the wrong way feel like there's strength among numbers. So the 5 of us feel this way, and now all of you feel more inclined to go say something.
I wonder if Colby was a bigger presence if things would have gone differently. Like, let's say Jackson's said, we don't want John Jones here anymore. John Jones is constantly in the media for negative things. We think it's reflecting poorly on our gym. We don't want him here. I wonder if Jackson Wink would say, too bad, because that's the greatest fighter in the world. Or if they'd say, okay, well, all of you have to find a new gym now because John brings in, more money and more belts and more fights than any of you. Right? Like, I wonder if Colby was a bigger star, if Colby and Jorge had switched personas, right? And it was Jorge who was the biggest star who was leaving the gym if ATT would have done more to keep him. I wonder. Something to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about there. I think Colby was just rubbing so many people the wrong way, and then the coach put in those rules as to what could or could not be said about the other people that are in the gym.
Right, which is ridiculous.
Colby's like, I'm not going to adhere to these rules. He's like, it's un-American, which is like so perfect for the gimmick. But at the same time,
and he said, I'm not in the ATT business. I'm in the Colby Covington business, which is brilliant, man. Exactly. It's like, listen, I'm not here to play by your rules. I'm here to play by mine. I'm writing the rules. I'm cashing the checks. I'm here to work.
Honestly, good for Colby. Like,
good for Colby, man.
I think this is a great opportunity for him to further build his brand, so long as he's able to have quality partners, quality coaches, and get the most out of himself and continue to grow. This could be a great opportunity for him to evolve in many ways, more than just one.